This is the Family Christian Value Network.
One on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries. When you buy apples, when you buy bacon, when you buy eggs, they would double and triple the price over a short period of time. And I won an election based on...
Under my administration, we're fighting against the lobbyists, the special interests, and the corrupt Washington politics. We are going to Washington, D.C., and we are going to drain the swamp.
Pothead Theater. For centuries, man has designed cartoons with no regard for the inclinations of the pothead. Potheads to determine the cartoons they want to enjoy. Tonight, for the first time, on Pothead Theater.
I want to talk about how Donald Trump just promised Mark Zuckerberg $1.5 billion of your tax dollars. He did it in public. He did it on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange. Straight up.
If I win, we will rapidly defeat inflation, and I will make America affordable again. We're going to make it affordable. We got to bring those costs down. They call it groceries. Bacon, lettuce, tomato, everything is so much higher than it ever was.
Pothead Theater.
Just over an hour or so ago. Here's what's in it. It would extend government funding for another 3 months. It would add billions in funding, about $100 billion in funding for disasters, including recent hurricanes. Now, this is new. It would extend the debt ceiling for 2 additional years. The debt ceiling is likely to hit in the spring of next year in the Trump administration. It would also extend the Farm Bill for 1 year. That debt ceiling extension was something specifically that President-elect Donald Trump, and as you see there, he wrote all Republicans and even Democrats should vote yes. Now,
I have the best people. I have the best people. I have the best people.
They're sending people that have lots of problems.
Joining us now, Howard Lutnick, CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald and co-chair of the Trump transition team and long and dear friend. Howard, thank you for coming on.
Believe me, they're bringing crime.
But I know that you, as a senior Trump advisor.
So there's 2 ways to do it. You partner with Elon Musk, the Department of Government Efficiency.
How he handles it will define who he is, if he's a serious leader, and if he's going to survive this leadership vote, quite frankly.
He already lowered their damn rate to the lowest it's ever been, 17%. Now he's going to lower it to 15%? How's that going to get your groceries down? It didn't last time.
That thing where you have a holiday fling and then the magic wears off and the relationship kind of melts away, that's being called snowmanning. Folks are calling Elon Musk president. Snowmanning. Yeah. Not to be confused with Snow Manning.
Want a new show that parties?
I literally did not go to sleep on Friday night.
Watch Cocaine News with your host, Donald Trump Jr.
The cocaine addict who happens to be the son of the president.
Hot takes.
I know you're not allowed to talk about the great replacement theory.
Hard drugs.
Going 172 in a car while smoking crack.
And all the finger quotes you can handle.
Dangers of disinformation. He called it blackface. Lost part of his penis.
Cutting off flat rails of journalism.
They checked a couple boxes and maybe there's bombs blown up and he's scrolling at the little window. The political persecution.
That's pure uncut news candy.
It's Republican drama. Yada, yada, yada. We have no idea. This isn't like my job.
Cocaine News.
Watch this. All right, we're having a little trouble pulling up the video.
Weekends, 3 a.m.
What?
President-elect Trump said last week that he wants to end daylight savings time, while his advisor, Stephen Miller, just wants to end daylight. It burns!
The wealthiest administration in history.
The Trump cabinet will have more billionaires and centimillionaires than any in history. The billionaires on billionaire ambassadors, the centimillionaires, billionaires.
One thing I can guarantee is that none of those people ever had to buy their own groceries. They're probably the only people in the world who do believe Trump invented the word.
Of course. Trump straight up says, I'm not going to be able to get your grocery prices down. Because he's a fucking liar.
You mean those stores that sell all of that loose food? I thought those were just poorly lit restaurants.
You're fired. You're fired. Go home.
He's playing over dragon.
You're fired. You're all fired. Four are fired.
Ultimately, the best messenger is the president himself.
You're fired.
I'm on Team Trump.
Your face is a great man. You're fired. Somebody has to be the president's pit bull. You're so stupid, Peter. You're fired.
Tom, you're fired.
Every critic will have to bow down to President Trump.
You're fired.
A plan to renew about $4 trillion in expiring GOP tax cuts.
The Trump tax cuts. So that's obviously going to be a priority in the first year.
Oh my God, they're not bringing down the cost of groceries. They're just giving themselves a tax cut. Do you know what this means? Donald Trump lied.
But he's got a perfectly wonderful plan. He's going to give the 3 largest grocery store corporations in America the largest tax cut they've ever had. And they're going to buy back stock. They're not going to lower your grocery prices.
What is the dangerous and murky deep state that President Trump keeps talking about? When you hear the term deep state, what image does it conjure up?
Less than 3 weeks after winning the race for the White House, President-elect Donald Trump's cabinet is coming into shape. The picks must go through Senate approval, and some Democrats are calling for background checks on Trump's choices.
They're just going to get their own taxes lowered. The richest people in America are fixing to get a massive tax cut. You're not getting anything. But they're getting everything.
To compromise with the Democrats to fund the government through March. But then that was all upended at the last minute by Elon Musk, who tweeted at 4:15 a.m. yesterday, "This bill should not pass."
And it's your money that they're stealing from you and giving to the richest people in the entire world.
Pothead Theater.
I know you're thinking, how does giving a $4 trillion tax cut to corporations and the wealthiest people in America bring down the cost of groceries? Well, it's actually very simple, and I've mapped it all out here. So, I feel like maybe we didn't need...
We the people do whatever Rich Boy tells us. Rich Boy makes the big square truck car.
So they can buy a new yacht. You know, like Zuckerberg, what, he has the one yacht that goes along with the other yacht? Or is that Jeff Bezos? It's hard to say. Both Jeff Bezos and Zuckerberg just gave $1 million to Trump's inauguration.
Hi, I'm Smoldery the Bear, proud government employee. My rent is due, and I'm about to be laid off.
I support the current bill that we have. I support that bill. I don't know what was done. I support what we did. I worked very, very hard, as the other appropriators did in terms of creating this agreement. We lost some, they lost some, but we put together a good agreement that people could support. And we were there to support it, but for President Musk.
Pothead Theater.
How much government is spending? Because that is the true tax. If you're not paying for it in the form of explicit taxes, you're paying for it indirectly in the form of inflation or in the form of borrowing, close quote. The Senate is poised to enact another tax on the American people this week, tonight in fact, a $200 billion tax that will leave a hole in the Social Security Trust Fund. This tax will give extra Social Security benefits to just 4%.
Why don't you take your legislative agenda and shove it up your ass?
We can win this war. Let's get rid of that dividend tax and get rid of Ahmed. USA! US! I don't know.
Cut. Okay, people, let's take it from the top.
Only you can subscribe to my OnlyFans. I start fires down below. Link in bio.
What a great deal. I gave $1 million to this motherfucker's inauguration, and I get $1.4 billion? Is that in cash?
Just relax, kid.
I'm sorry, guys. I consider myself a patriot, but I'm not comfortable doing this. I mean, it just seems really racist.
Motherfucker stands up there in front of the richest group of CEOs and New York Stock Exchange traders and says, I'm cutting your taxes. And boy, they just cheered. Meanwhile, the damn Time magazine guy was up there screaming, America, 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 while they put the damn Time magazine picture up there. Because the guy that owns Time magazine also just gave a bunch of money to Trump. Because he's fixing to get a huge tax cut. You're not getting a tax cut. He's getting a tax cut. And not because, like, he's going to get back some of his money. No. He's getting your money.
I just can't do this.
I will not cut 1 penny from Social Security or Medicare, and I will not raise the retirement age by 1 day.
Nothing is sacrosanct. Nothing. They're going to put everything on the table.
I will not cut 1 penny from Social Security or Medicare, and I will not raise the retirement age 1 day. I won't even raise it by 1 day.
Everything is on the table, and that includes Social Security, Medicare, and Medicaid.
I won't even raise it by 1 day. I will not cut 1 penny from Social Security or Medicare, and I will not raise the retirement age by 1 day.
We've got to right the ship, and it's going to mean cuts. It's going to mean cuts to the 24% of the discretionary spending that we have. And it's also going to mean looking long-term at the front end of some programs like Social Security and Medicare.
I will not talk about 1 day or 1 year shorter, and I will not raise the retirement age of Social Security by 1 day, not by 1 year.
And on the front end of Social Security, I think there's a way when people are living longer, they're retiring later, that on the front end we can move that retirement age back a little bit.
You can bank on it. You can bank on it.
And no one is going to get a single dollar off their
groceries.
Did you know that an acre of corn is only worth $13? All the corn from an acre of land, the farmer sells for $13. What do you pay for corn?
Sorry to report, Trump's promises were as worthless as the Hawk 2 a meme coin. Thought that thing was going to take off like
groceries.
Unlike a lot of people, maybe, I support this, cutting of the federal government. It is ballooned to ridiculousness. And one of the ways we could fix that is by not giving massive amounts of our taxpayer money to the richest people in America.
Land of opportunity from sea
Trump Tower
to shining
Trump Tower.
We could use that money anywhere else. Hell, take that exact same amount of money, divide it equally amongst the people, and everybody gets a check for the same amount of money. How about that? They're not going to do that.
Pothead Theater.
Hi, everybody. Pat Robertson here, Christian Coalition.
Will provide you with an ex-lesbian wife to ease your transition from your self-destructive hell.
I'm simply narrowing my focus to cartoons. I mean, cartoons have such an influence on our children and the Christian community. Like this next cartoon.
Hetero, you convert any fairy boy. Ain't no sex, not too late. He can switch you from gay to straight.
That's the reality. I don't give a damn about you. Donald Trump knows what side of his bread is buttered.
101 formations. No need to get your way.
I just think we can do better. Like this.
By having more tests, we find more cases. Therefore, we test, we're going to have more cases. By having more cases, it sounds bad.
And my friend, he wouldn't take a bite out of your biscuit if it was the last food on earth. The motherfucker doesn't know your biscuit exists.
Drug use and sex trafficking.
He's getting away.
Excuse me for a moment. Using the awesome, super colossal power of the Lord, Roy Fletcher becomes Hetero-Roy. Gay away.
He'd be stunned if you had butter. Or he'd be stunned if you didn't. Because he has no concept of what it is to be poor.
And sex trafficking is terrible. That's why I don't do orgies. I can't stand the bumper to bumper.
He was born with $400 million. You can check. His dad had him as a fucking employee when he was 2, making nearly $200,000 a year when he was 2. Because his dad cheated too.
They cut nearly $200 million in funding for, ready for this, childhood cancer research called the Gabriella Miller Kids First Pediatric Research Program. That's what they cut. That program was established on a bipartisan basis under President Obama. Former Republican leader Eric Cantor was one of the driving forces behind it. Republicans tore the funding for that program out of the bill, seemingly at random, because Elon Musk told them to. So I want to be clear about what's happened, what's transpired in the last 24 hours, okay? The richest man in the world, worth $250 billion, took $190 million away from kids with cancer. That's not hyperbole. It's not exaggeration. That is what has happened.
I feel great. I don't even feel like smoking cigarettes.
Or anything else.
Almost. No need to get your way up. Save it for Hetero-Roy.
And now we got a gangster up in there.
Hold him for questioning. Check his hard drive for child porn.
I don't even have a computer.
So, get ready to pay more for them biscuits, boys. They're not gonna go down. They're gonna fucking skyrocket. I'm Zachariah, Lone Star Liberal. Better stock up on groceries. Y'all take it easy.
Pothead Theater.
Corbato, defender of freedom, Corbato, protector from fear, Corbato.
I invented the word groceries. I was the first one to say it. Windmills are driving whales crazy and causing cancer. Toilets don't flush. Hannibal Lecter is a wonderful man.
$330 billion. Congratulations. You've added to the debt since you were given the majority again on November 5th. It's embarrassing. It's shameful. Yes, I think this bill is better than it was yesterday on certain respects, but to take this bill yesterday and congratulate yourself because it's shorter in pages but increases the debt by $5 trillion is asinine. And that's precisely what Republicans are doing. I'm absolutely sickened by a party that campaigns on fiscal responsibility and has the temerity to go forward to the American people and say, you think this is fiscally responsible. It is absolutely ridiculous.
And this was a standard procedure.
Pothead Theater.
We need a clear understanding of how we're going to do things next session, because what's happening right now is completely unacceptable.
How frustrated are you with Speaker Johnson?
How does it sound?
What the hell?
I'm good.
Thank you, Lord, for keeping my anus clean. Thank you, Lord, that I am not a queen. I was entering from behind, and then you cleansed my mind. Thanks to you, my anus. Shut up!